talking about the campaign, they consistently said we have to give people, the people we represent, the opportunity to come together, to lean on one another, to get strength from one another, and to realise that this campaign will continue until we get the government off our backs and protect our pay and conditions. Secondly, I want to say, and I mean this absolutely sincerely, it really is a proud moment to be here and associated with the people that make Ireland a civilised society, that allow us So I want to thank you personally as a citizen of Ireland who has a family, so that when I go home in the evening, I was a nurse, so I know the roster of the 24/7. But now when I go home, I know you're out there. I know if I go to the A&E in Drogheda, that nurses are there and other support staff are there. I know the guards are there, the prison officers are there, the ambulance men, the firemen. We've all had to use you. And we feel safe because you're there, and we're not going to let you down. We're not going to let them take your money. It's very, very important that you understand the context that we're here tonight. This is, if you like, a campaign that has to succeed in order to protect the way in which you work. We have a government that appears to be absolutely insistent that it is going to reduce the premium pay of workers who provide a safe service, a civilised society on a 24/7 basis. They appear absolute in their resolve to cut Sunday premium and so on. I suggest not just because they want to cut your pay, but because they're following an employer's agenda in the wider society that lowers the pay of all workers and keeps us depressed and repressed and so on. But they're not going to succeed because I haven't felt the energy in a room for many a long year. I haven't felt the anger in a room for many a long year that's here tonight. So we all know that everybody is struggling. We all know that it is pure madness, pure rubbish, pure fantasy to think that people who are on low and middle incomes to begin with, who have already taken a 40% pay cut, paid every cent in tax, which is more, by the way, than we can be said for other sectors of Irish society who spend their lives avoiding tax and so on. It is pure fantasy to suggest that we can tolerate or accept another 10% plus decrease in income, particularly when it's targeted at the time to work in order to provide a safe and civilised society. So this is a struggle. It is a struggle for equity. It's a struggle for equal treatment. You are not going to have your pay cut just because you work in the evenings or the night time or a Saturday or a Sunday or a public holiday. Okay? You have already suffered your cuts, and we have to unite together and make sure that, I think they can't help, they'll hear the sound from here in government buildings this evening, but they can't help but realise that we are not going away, we are not returning, and they don't mess with the 24/7 staff, okay? But you see, colleagues and friends, one of the reasons why the government, I think, believes they can get away with their attack upon the income of ordinary people is that they have, with the help indeed by right-wing commentators and so on, put a view out that all workers are downtrodden at the moment, that all people are depressed, that people will accept whatever is thrown from them from the master's table. As John said earlier, let them eat cake. Well, I have got to say that you coming here tonight in such large numbers, you coming here tonight to vocalise your solidarity with each other, you're coming here tonight to demonstrate that you're not for turning on this, will, I hope, be the spark that lights the flame that will turn wider public, the wider trade union movement around, and realise that our job is to protect the income of workers, not to facilitate their cuts or their trampling down of conditions of employment. However, friends and colleagues, tonight, by the way, it's hard to come up here having had so many other speakers come and rouse you up and so on and so forth. But if you listen to what everyone said, I think everyone was making the same point, maybe using different ways. Tonight is only the start of something. And arguably tonight is the easy part. Because the message that we have to give you tonight from the executives of all of the unions is that you have got to take the energy, you've got to take the message out of this room tonight, and you've got to, you don't sleep, you work 24/7, so starting before midnight tonight, you've got to start hitting your TDs and your senators in your constituencies, and you've got to start telling them, no cuts, no way, or you lose every vote, every chance you ever had at getting re-elected to Dáil Éireann, because we will not forget if you single us out for unfair treatment. It is quite clear the government at ministerial level has a view that it can tackle premium income. It can tackle the added earnings for working outside of core hours. It is quite clear that is the case. And until they get the message from their public representatives, through you, contacting them and very forcibly, whether it's attending clinics, whether it's emailing, that is a vital part of this campaign. You must translate the energy of this room into the energy of telling TDs, ministers, through all the channels open to you as individual citizens coming together, that we're not having this. If we have to take industrial action, so be it, we will. But we have to change the agenda. The agenda is quite clear. They're only focusing upon your earnings. Full stop. Because you have the audacity to work Saturdays, evenings and Sundays. We've got to turn that ship around. And the best way of doing it is by collectively mobilising so that they hear what they haven't heard for the last 4 years. Ordinary people saying collectively, consistently, never ending in a loud way, we have had enough, we're not taking any more, and you can take your cuts and put them wherever you want to, but they're not coming our way. Before I finish, and it was touched on earlier, I do want to mention two categories of our membership which also have to be protected. And that is, and it was mentioned earlier, I see a few yellow t-shirts here and so on. Guards, will you arrest them please for behave. Anyway, the government decided, the minister decided before Christmas, that it wasn't good enough to attack the pay of new entrants into the public service by 24% and levy all the charges. It was going to cut it by another 20% for graduate nurses. I'm happy to say that we mounted a boycott with the P&A and ourselves, and we've held that back. But I just want to thank and applaud the graduates who didn't succumb to their temptation. And the second group I want to remember, because they're also coming into the firing line now, are pensioners. Existing public service pension. There is a myth out there that every public service pensioner walks away with about 485,000 of a lump sum, 225,000 of a pension, and none of it is taxed. I have yet to meet a 24/7 worker that has anything like that pension. Okay? So they want to target those people as well. So what I'm trying to say is they're targeting everybody. They're targeting the new people coming into the profession, they're targeting those who are providing the service currently, and they're targeting those who have just recently retired. And nobody has any more to give. Nobody can pay their bills, pay their mortgages, and so on if they keep coming back. So more than ever, this is about leaning on each other. More than ever, this is about showing collective solidarity. More than ever, this is about using your respective organisations and saying we've had enough. And more than ever, this is following our ask, following our advices, following our directions, and really mobilising. The joint executives of the 5 organisations will meet. We're going to take back some feedback from whatever comes from the organisations. This campaign is only starting. And this campaign, I think Dave said before, it is a big, big boulder going up a big, tall hill. There is an absolute fixated position of government that they are going to hit Sunday premium and they're going to hit evening shifts and so on. And it will take a monumental effort from ourselves to turn that around. So the only question I have for you, are you up for that monumental effort? Yes. You'll notice Seamus has dressed himself again since he did the routine earlier on there, and he has the tie on and so on. Somebody else is trying. But listen, that is the way. You have got to understand this is an absolute full frontal assault upon the premium earnings of 24/7 people, which has to be responded to by an equally robust, never-ending, never-yielding campaign. And when we do that, colleagues, we cannot be defeated, because you are absolutely the salt of the earth people in Ireland. You are the people that give up their family lives to a great extent to serve the community. You are the people who are out there when the rest of us are at home of an evening or a Saturday at a match or whatever. I did that roster. I know what it's like. Are you on Sunday? Are you off Sunday? Are you on nights? Are you work in the evening? What is it you have to do? And it does eat into your lives. And there's no way they're going to take away the bit of recompense that you get for that. Not now, not ever. Leave our premium pay alone. You have been really patient, and I'd say, you know, you're entitled now to want to stretch your legs. So, in order to demonstrate, we're going to end with this, okay? We're going to show you a piece of film, which is going to show what can be achieved when people hang together. No matter how high the mountain, no matter how heavy the boulder, when people hang together, they can deliver for each other and for themselves. So on behalf of everyone up here, every last one of us up here, can I say thank you so much for coming. Please listen and follow every direction we give you in the campaign. Please mobilise like you've never mobilised with your TDs. Don't leave it to somebody else. Don't leave it, Archbishop Jack will do it or Mary will do it. You have to do it. Every hour, on the hour, for the next 10 days. You must contact your people. And when you do all of that, and we add other ingredients to the campaign, we will succeed like these people succeeded. Good night, God bless, and safe home to you all. Thank you very much.